Eat the toad first. That means do the hard stuff first, get it out of the way, that way the rest of your day is easier. Back when I was younger, I used to make a list of things that I had to do during the day, and then I would organize them from the easiest and the least time-intensive thing to the most time-intensive thing. And then what I would do to feel like I'm getting a lot of things done is I would start with the easiest stuff and then work my way down. And what kept happening was I would do the easiest things, get those out of the way, and I felt like I was doing a lot because I kept checking the boxes. I kept checking off the things that I would do. But then every time I got to the tough stuff, the real meat, the strenuous stuff, I'd always say, ooh, I'm kind of tired now. Maybe I'll save that for tomorrow. I'll save that for the next day. And then what would happen? The next day came, and now I make my new list of things to do. I got my easy things first, my quick things first, and now I got my hard, real, substantial things that I got to do. And then I get tired before I get to do that again. And now I keep putting off the most important things. That way I keep doing the crap work, the easy work, the simple work, but I never get the real work done. Now it's completely flipped. I start with the hard, the most important, the most strenuous thing, and I get that done first. For me, that is making YouTube videos. Making YouTube videos is pretty intensive because one, I gotta make sure all the scripts are done and all the work is done. And then typically I'm standing up, I'm in my recording room, I got my whiteboard, and I gotta go and put in a solid couple hours to record every single day. Now, obviously I'm doing it while sitting down because my ankle's a little twisted, but what I do is I don't do anything until I script and record my videos. So I start off the day, I put in the work in my videos, and then I start going down the list of the easier things because when I'm doing more of just my thinking stuff, that's a lot more easy and less strenuous on me. So I do the recording first and everything else after. Now what I've done is taken it one step further. I use food as a reward. I love food. And so now what I've done is I don't allow myself to eat until I finish up a certain amount of tasks. So I'll write down on my notes, and I make a list every day of things that I gotta do. But I write down the things that I gotta do before lunch, and I don't allow myself to eat until I finish up these tasks to keep me motivated. And sometimes I'll put food at the end of the day. That way now I won't eat lunch. I gotta finish up everything before I get to eat dinner. Don't do what you can pay somebody else to do when you're ready to pay somebody else to do it. Because I used to hear this a lot, that you should pay somebody else to do the things that you can pay somebody else to do. That way you free up your time. But if you do that early enough in your career or entrepreneurial journey or whatever it might be, now you're going to pay somebody else to do something that you could have done yourself. And now you have a whole bunch of free time because they don't know what else to do. So now you have less revenue or less income because you're paying somebody a piece of your revenue to do some of your work. And now you're just sitting there on your hands trying to figure out what else to do. If you have something else to do to be more productive, then do that. But if you don't have something else productive to do, then you got to be doing the work for yourself. When I started off making YouTube videos, it was a hobby for me. I wasn't making any money. I didn't plan on making any money. So it didn't make sense for me to go out and hire an editor in the beginning because, well, this was just a hobby. Why do I want to spend money on something that's not going to make me any money? Then when I started making money on YouTube, I still didn't hire an editor because I was working on some other entrepreneurial ventures, but I had the time to edit. And if I wasn't editing, I didn't know what else I would be doing. I would have just been sitting there on my hands. And so I wanted to save that money for myself. So I paid myself to do the editing. Then once I started to grow, I started to build other entrepreneurial ventures. I started to build my own businesses. I started to become more busy. Then I hired an editor. Now, when I had an editor, I paid somebody else to buy my time back, and then I had more time to do other things. Then I began to hire writers. That gave me more time back. Then I hired tech people. That gave me more time back. Then I hired more and more people, and that allowed me to have more time to do things that only I can do, where other people cannot. But you have to work your way up, because if you just start hiring people in the beginning, like what some people say, you're gonna be out a lot of cash. And that cash can be used for yourself to build your savings, to build your investments, to build your wealth, to have money to invest in other business ideas, to do whatever it is that you want to do. So you want to save as much cash in the beginning, but you also want to understand when it's time for you to let go and now hire people. That way you can grow that cash. See, if you're sitting there and now you're limiting yourself because you're saying, oh, I don't want to pay somebody to do my editing. I don't want to pay somebody to grow my business. I don't want to pay somebody to mow my lawn. I don't want to pay somebody to fold my laundry. I don't want to pay somebody to get my groceries because I don't want to spend that money. But your time could be used better somewhere else. Now you're losing. Now you're being cheap, and now you're wasting your own resources when you could be using your time to get a better return. But if you don't have a better return and your time would just be you sitting there watching Netflix, doing something that isn't producing any return, then you can do the work yourself. But once you figure out a better way to spend your money, to spend your time, that is when you got to pull the trigger and hire people to buy you your time back. That way you can do the most productive things with your time. That way you can produce the most value out of your time. Like what I was talking about at the beginning of this video. All of us are given 24 hours a day. We're all given the same amount of time. Now, the thing that determines how successful you will become is how much value you can produce. Not everybody's going to be a business owner. However, you can be more productive with your time and do more things with your time that's going to produce you the most value, whether it's more time learning, whether it's more time earning, whether it's more time enjoying, whether it's more time being healthy. You got to figure out whatever that productiveness is, but you have to be willing to invest in the thing that's going to give you more time to do more of the things that you need to. And if you are an entrepreneur, you're a founder, or a business owner, and you want to stay up to date on what's happening in the latest business trends, you can join Business Briefs, which is my free newsletter for entrepreneurs, for free, because every day my team is breaking down what's happening with the latest business trends. You can read it in less than 5 minutes every morning. So if you want to read Business Briefs for free, I'll put the link to how you can join down in the description below. If you enjoyed this short clip from my longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And while you're at it, if you're interested in learning more about how to start generating passive income, our team put together an amazing guide on how to start generating passive income for free. All you got to do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.